I got an email from Nora at Yorklands Green Hub, who said, do you know anything about this? And it was an email from the Guelph Museum, which was an email from the Stratford Museum, which was from somebody else who said, I've got this image of a jail fire mural painted to celebrate or recognize a fire in the Stratford jail. It happened in 1976, and it was supposedly painted in the Stratford Hall of Friendship. So this woman who lived in Stratford was trying to find where it was and how she could access it. And the people in Stratford couldn't figure it out. They didn't know, but the one clue they had, they said, well, it was painted by a Guelph inmate. I remembered there was a prisoner who was well known in Guelph for painting murals. So I went through my material and I found this article. This is a stub of the article from the Globe and Mail. And the excerpt here, the artist took the reviewer on the Globe and Mail reporter on a tour in Guelph of the chapel at the Reformatory, which is a standalone building. And it says, downstairs in the chapel, Mr. Boccini pointed up at the sign saying Stratford Hall of Friendship. Across the wall, at the front of the hall, he has done a mural depicting the jail fire on December 18th, in which 5 prisoners died. So this was kind of a huge aha, and it's a pretty cool painting. This is only a piece of it. The actual painting is 30 feet wide. It covers the whole back wall and then actually returns on 2 wings. Once we knew what we were looking for, I was able to talk to Connie Shaw, former chaplain, because it's the basement of the chapel, and she was able to provide us with this photograph and a few others. None of them were really taken to document the mural. They were just pictures, snapshots taken with a little Kodak Instamatic. But I'm really glad we have these. So the Mercury did a story on it, and I pursued it a little more. I went back to the people in Stratford and said, where did you get this? And they said, well, this woman in Stratford asked. So I talked to her, and she said, well, it was my friend in Florida. So I phoned the friend in Florida, and she said, oh, well, my mother just died, and she just gave me, and I inherited 2 photo albums of clippings and material about my brother, who died when he was 18 in the fire. She was 13. And she sent me an email that said, I was 13 years old when he died, and it changed my life forever. And on every anniversary of the fire, she has difficulty, this many years later. So it was very moving. The Mercury interviewed her. She was so grateful to have the story brought back to life. It brought up a lot of emotion for her. It was difficult. I'm going to read this again because you probably can't see it all at the back. But in November, we got an email from Marianne Cole, my friend in Florida, whose brother died. And she said, do you still have that newspaper article you had published? And I was walking the dog at home, and I found the article I was going to send to her. And another email from her came in and said, oh, don't worry, I found it. And this is a snippet of the rest of the email. And it says, so, because of this article and a few other reasons, I found out yesterday that my brother had a baby when he was 16, and the mother gave it up for adoption. She has been looking for my mother and grandma for years. I'm overwhelmed with joy as we both had no idea.